Hi, I'll be filming the whole sequence of a lower back and hip routine that I think is very, very helpful. So all we're doing here, we're sitting, and you can do this lying down, but this one's a good one, where you're just dropping, tapping. You got, maybe you do 10 of those. You can do this workout once or twice a week, almost every day if you wish. It's very safe, and you might do it 2 or 3 times. Sets are usually 10 to 12 to 15. So you might do 10 of everything and then go through and do it a second time. So that's rotating at the hip, tapping down. Rotating at the hip, tapping down. So be careful with the knee. You're not twisting the knee, you're rotating at the hip. Yeah? And you may not have the same flexibility on both sides. Yeah? All right. So what I want to do now, we're going to lie down and we're going to draw the belly button to the spine, and we're going to drop one leg out, just to where we're comfortable. We're not tipping, and we're coming back up. Do it again on the other side. So we're not tipping, we're drawing the belly button to the spine. We've got the core strong, and we drop that to where we're comfortable and bring it in. Yeah? So we don't want to, we're just kind of warming through. We don't need it to be touching the ground, we need to control. So it's all about stability and not needing to drop it all the way. So that's the single leg, right? To do the double, we open up a bit wider and we roll through. Again, it doesn't have to be touching the ground, it's just warming and rotating the hips, working through. That's it, working through everything. The glutes, it's stretching, you will feel some pulling. So just go easy, go gentle, not fast. Again, you can do 10 of those. Notice I'm not even able to touch the ground. My hips are quite tight on one side. The next thing I want you to do is just practice a pelvic tilt. You can do this anywhere, in bed especially wonderful, like you've done, it's nice and warm and cozy. You're just rotating the hip to the ceiling and then relaxing. You can go under, like tuck it under, but we're tucking that way. I'd rather us tuck that way. So it's almost straightening here by tucking. Does that make sense? So when we're doing that, our tummy muscles actually pull up. So as we come up, everything shortens and strengthens. So you can feel that you're working your core quite well and relaxing. Strengthening, so you're tipping the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Like I said, you can over-rotate and go under, and you've got a big gap under, a big arch under your back. But if you don't want to do that, just relax. Just leave that flat and just do the pelvic tilting, yeah? All right. This time we're going to add the lift, the hip lift. So again, feet under us, so 90 degree. So we're going to tilt and lift up all the way. So doing 2 legs, and then as we come down, imagine that our vertebrae is one at a time, like a string of pearl necklace, coming down and touching down. Glutes last. Let's do that again. Pelvic tilt up. You're holding, and then let the vertebrae unfold, if you like, unstack. Stacking down, one at a time. Glutes last. You might only do 5 of these coming up. We can actually make this a little quicker after you've done that warm through. If you want to just go straight into hip lifts, you can add a dumbbell. So you might do 10 of these, 10 or 15, where it's a bit quicker and they're more hip thrusts. The way to make this harder is we put our feet on something higher, or we take some weight on our tummy. Okay. So let's straighten one leg and bring one leg in for a curl. Now, if you want to add some extra strength work, you can lift, but if that's not something that your neck is really comfortable with, just do it like that. Because what you're doing here is just stretching into your chest, stretching glutes. Now, if you want to turn it, rotate a little bit and bring that in closer, you'll feel a little bit more in the hip flexors and the muscles on the inside of the leg. So if they're a little tight, it's a nice stretch. All right, and then swap it over. So we'll swap the legs over, bring them together. In the middle, let's have a little massage. And then other way. Perfect. All right, let's swap over now. So one leg's long, elongated, And the other one is curl into your chest. That's it. Again, you can add a bit of tummy work if you want to hold that crunch, or relax, rotate at the hip and bring that in for a deeper stretch so that you're feeling the inside as well. Keeping your hand on the outside so you're really hugging yourself, yeah? We can actually add another extension to this, and that would be glute stretch like that, right? So what happens here is you're popping that on top, lifting, arms going through. You know, if it's not possible to put the hand through, just rest your foot on a coffee table or a couch or a bed, something like that, a wall even, just to give you that extra stability. And we'll swap over and do the other side. So again, you're opening out that hip a little bit more, resting it on the bent leg, bringing that up, lifting, and if you can, pop the hands through. One hand goes through and one goes around. Okay. The last thing we'll do is relaxing the hips. So this is something that is quite hard and mindful to do. We need to just breathe into it because it's not necessarily comfortable. So if it doesn't feel comfortable, don't do it as far, and we can do it seated. It doesn't have to be lying down. The other nice one would be this, where you bring that in like that. If you've got that range of motion, you can. If not, I'd probably suggest we start with one leg at a time, or we start seated and doing it sitting up. So I'll show you what that looks like. So relaxing the hips out as you can. It might be quite tough at the start. It's something you work on, right? Is relaxing into that. It takes some time to learn that. Because what you don't want to do is cause yourself any injuries there. Put the feet together and just have a lovely stretch over. And popping over the other side. So you're looking the opposite way to your legs. So your legs are going one way, your head's going the other, but you are outstretched, opening out your chest, relaxing the back muscles. Okay, coming up. Now we're going to roll on our side, we're going to slowly sit up. I'm going to show you that butterfly stretch that we just did lying down, in case it's better on the floor. And sometimes it's better on a cushion. So if you elevate yourself up higher as well, so you're sitting on a cushion, makes this a lot easier. And again, it might be something that is not comfortable. If that's not right, do one leg at a time. One leg at a time is great as well. You can lean towards your shoe. This is also a good seated exercise, especially if you've got sciatica or you've had some having some glute issues. So you're really getting a little bit of a stretch in the hamstring as well. Together, butterfly stretch. You can add a little bit of a rocking, which is really nice. Again, opening up the chest, the pelvic area, everything's relaxing. Because sometimes, it all just, especially if you sit a lot, we just get tight. And this way. I think I've already done that, haven't I? So the other option would be leg over, hug, and a little bit of a twist. There we go. And there we go. All right. What I might do, just to relax a little bit of the hips that we've just put you through, just come back into a child's pose. So wider, and again, you can do this standing up. You don't have to do it on your knees if your knees are not good for you. You just want to stretch through the lower back where you've done all that work on the hips. And then hip flexor, again, we can do this standing up on the chair. And you just lean through and stretching. But support yourself. And changing over. You might find you get more of a stretch actually standing up. So, what a beautiful stretch to do today for the hips. I'm stretching those hip flexors out too, right? They've been stretched and worked today. So what happens here, we just lean back a little bit and hold. The other nice thing, if it's too uncomfortable to do that, you actually just sit down and hop up. Sit down, so it's almost like a squat. Actually, you do need to be able to tuck your feet under there for this one though. So sit down, kneel. Again, not necessary, this is just an extra one, and just stretching through. Shoulders, we do a little bit of upper back stretching, chest outright and behind. Beautiful. Okay, enjoy. Let me know how you go.